sharing of Geeta Didi. Dr. A. Geeta Ji is from Chikanna Government Art College, Tirugur, Tamil Nadu, and she has attended UHV workshop also, and she joined this morning session from a particular before 2-3 months before 4-5 months before, when she has done this UHV workshop. She is also a motivational speaker, and she is essentially working herself to improving her right understanding. Now, I would like to request Geeta Ji to please share your observation. Didi, firstly, you have to see these points, then I will share your PPT for sharing.
Yes, Geeta Ji, welcome.
सभी को नमस्ते.
Yes, namaste, Geeta Ji.
Thank you, Ganesh Ji, Pandey Ji, and all others. Let me start my sharing. Bhaiya, you just share my screen, Bhaiya.
Yes, Didi.
Yeah, thank you, Bhaiya. So, with a brief introduction of myself, I'm Geeta, heading Computer Science Department at Chikanna Government Arts College, Tirupur, Tamil Nadu. So I would like to start with this famous quotation of Isaac Newton. So I also see myself as I'm only a small child playing on the beach while vast oceans of truth lie undiscovered before me. Bhaiya, next slide, Bhaiya. Yes. This famous quotation of Flavo truly coincides with me. I'm sure it will coincide with everyone, but it is very apt for me. This I can compare with my previous lockdown. Last lockdown, though I was busy, though I was doing all the activities, so many struggles, so many sufferings. I went to online counseling for the first time. I'm 50 years old. So during the previous lockdown, first time I went for online counseling because I could not tolerate myself. The pressure, the sufferings I faced because of online with my colleagues, at my family end. So I was feeling very miserable, and I was longing for a program or a course that is going to give me peace, that is going to give me solace. And I was seeking for a guide, I was seeking for a guru, as Lord Krishna was guiding Arjuna. So I was longing for a guru. I felt so miserable that I went for, Bhaiya, the slide is not visible, Bhaiya. Bhaiya, the slide is not visible.
Geeta ji, I guess the connection of B.N. Pandey ji has lost. Kindly wait for a few minutes, or
Okay.
continue with your sharing. As he joins, he will present your slide.
Okay, Bhaiya. So, I was waiting for a guru. Then, from 2 to 6 November 2020, I had my first UHV introductory session, followed by refresher course from 30th November to 4th December 2020. So that was the time when I realized that when the student is ready, the teacher will definitely appear and it has appeared to me in the form of UHV. And I'm also very sure that one day this teacher will disappear when I am truly ready. Bhaiya, next slide, Bhaiya. Bhaiya, can we move to the next slide, Bhaiya? So, I would like to acknowledge before this forum that whatever learning I had come across so far are only gross, but all these learnings have made so many behavioral changes in me. It may be appearing so trivial or silly, but for me, it has given me the conviction that
Didi, I
great
have some
fruit-
connection problem right now, but till now it is okay. So
yeah, Bhaiya.
I
Yes,
want to
Bhaiya.
change this. I would change that slide. Next slide we have to go.
Yeah, Bhaiya, please, Bhaiya. Next slide, Bhaiya.
Didi, my voice is audible.
Yeah, I'm able to hear you, Bhaiya. Can we move on to the next slide, Bhaiya? Okay, so all my reflections are going to be very, very gross, but it has given me that conviction that I am going on the right path. So that conviction, that confidence UHV has given me, though it is my first baby step, but I'm sure my exploration with UHV, my journey has started. Bhaiya, can we move on to the next slide, Bhaiya? Yeah, so this is what I want to share. Bhaiya, next slide, Bhaiya. Yes, I was a motivational speaker myself. Now, all the quotations are giving me a totally new perceptions with deeper insights. All these days, I was preaching, not practicing. Therefore, I did not enjoy the real worth of all those sayings. Whatever I have learned through different mediums like books, videos, songs, speeches, biographies, they made a change within me. But it was only momentary, temporary, not a lasting impact. But this UHV content has unfolded me the ground truth, down to earth reality. This UHV has put me on the right track. Now I'm able to see a new version of Gita with that deeper understanding of whatever I have learned so far. Bhaiya, next slide, Bhaiya. So these are the behavioral changes in me. I have listed a few. Getting up regularly, I am finding myself more organized. Now I am finding more time to do more things. I am very productive and constructive. Previously, I used to regret doing my household chores. Why I should alone do? Why should I should alone keep on doing this routine task? But now with a sense of responsibility, I'm able to do out. I'm just moving out from my comfort zone. I'm becoming more and more mindful. The arguments have reduced. My mind is clutter free. When I compare myself with the previous versions of Gita, I have stopped overthinking, particularly comparing with others. I was suffering from peer pressure. So that and all has drastically reduced. A clarity in my thought process that I should surely acknowledge. Then improved decision making. This I would appreciate with myself, because if I'm able to being heading the department, and being in the administrative position, when I'm dealing with students, I am unable to take a decision. Though it may be a trivial issue, I used to confuse myself. What will happen? Whether they will do that me, they will harm me if I punish them. All those fears were there. So, but now I could see a drastic improvement in my decision making process, because now I am guided by my values. They take up the higher priority. Because of that, I'm able to take a clear decision at a faster rate. And I could also see that now I'm responding more and my reactions have come down. And this last behavioral change, I'm able to let it go. Because previously, I used to accumulate with all the past suffering, past incidents. But now I'm able to let it go. These are my few behavioral changes. The list goes. Bhaiya, next slide, Bhaiya. Yeah, this feeling of relationship or opposition, I'm now able to see two different worlds. With the same person, I'm able to see totally two different worlds. Suppose if I have the feeling of opposition, only negative things about them pops up before me. Suppose if I replace the feeling of opposition with feeling of relationship, I'm able to appreciate all good things which were previously there, which were hidden to me at those times, so that I could see. And I'm enjoying this feeling, a great sense of happiness. I'm seeing totally a different world by simply shifting my feeling from opposition to relationship, be it with my neighbors or my colleagues or my spouse or my child. Yeah, the same person, they are appearing in two different perspectives simply by changing my feeling from opposition to relationship. Bhaiya, next slide, Bhaiya. This I want to share with an incident of spider. When I am cleaning my house, the spiders, cobwebs always irritates me, troubles me, disturbs me. Why often I should do this task routinely? How many times have I had to clear it? So with the feeling of opposition, only I was disturbed. I was feeling uncomfortable. There was disharmony within me. But after this UHV, I experimented by changing my feeling from opposition to relationship. And now I'm able to appreciate those small insect spiders for being so active to build the cobwebs the very next day. Even as I kill a spider, the next one appears immediately on the very next day. So now I'm able to appreciate its existence, its role, its undeterring effort to build its cobweb for its family, its unfailing attitude. Previously, other people motivate me, but this time I could see a small spider motivating me with its untiring effort, with its unfailing attitude. So when I realized this truth, a sense of happiness and peace within me, I could see it, I could feel it. Yes, Bhaiya, next slide, Bhaiya. Yeah, on the other day, I was asking Ganesh ji why human beings should suffer. After his response, I just documented this in my notebook. I think nothing should be taken for granted in this world. There must be a process. There must be an effort. So like a seed, making its effort to germinate, whether the environment is favorable or not. Here I compare that as to my sanskars. So to make the environment conducive and to grow, I think this is the right understanding we must have. To grow against all odds or not to grow is a matter of choice. So nothing should be taken granted. It has to undergo this process. But one thing is for sure, it is our matter of choice. If we decide to make our life miserable, a struggle, a battlefield, then definitely it's our choice. Bhaiya, next slide, Bhaiya. With the continuation of the same thing, why human beings suffer, I'm sharing with you my personal life experience. Myself and my spouse, we are married for 26 years, but I could see that there is an incompatibility in our thoughts and thought process. And here I could see a precondition. After our marriage, my father-in-law went to an astrologer 6 months after our marriage, and he came with that report, a printout. He shared the plus minuses and all, and lastly he concluded that we are going to live like a cat and a rat. He just said only once, and I read the report only once, that like a cat and a rat. But that has preconditioned me so much that our thoughts never align together. So whenever I face some worst cases or worst situations, I used to regret and I used to complain to my parents, to my sisters, even to my colleagues, friends also like that. In this lifetime, in this birth, I'm destined to suffer with my spouse, whose our thoughts are not able to align. So that I used to share. I have decided that this lifetime, during this birth, I have to suffer with a person who is never able to align with my thoughts. So that was deep rooted inside me. So whenever I face some tough situations, this jumps up. So I think, yes, I have to undergo. No other way, because I have done something wrong, some gross mistake in my past. So that is why I got a spouse like this. So that was my mentality. But after this UHV, a total shift in that deep-rooted thought. I could see the complementarity in my spouse. When I realized this, a total sense of freedom. I was free from bondages. I was free from the clutches. I was free. I got totally relieved. And after Ganeshji's response to my question, it has supplemented me. It has enriched me. Yes, all human beings are born free in this world. We don't have any chains. Only thing is we have to go with the flow. No energy, no force required. Simply we have to enjoy the journey. No boundaries, no barriers. Yes, it could give me a total sense of freedom and happiness once when I had this reality. Yes, we are the prisoners of our own thoughts. Bhaiya, next slide, Bhaiya. With regarding to exercise 1 and 2, I must acknowledge that I am not able to go step by step, or so far all my reflections is only from the outside. I am unable to go deep inside me, but still, with respect to exercise 1, I am able to clearly see, though not at the very moment, after that incident. When I introspect myself, I could clearly see what was the reason behind my expression, behind my behavior. And I could see it with crystal clarity that only my feeling, the feeling I had that at the moment has led to that expression. That I could clearly understand, but only off late. But I'm happy about it. At least I have entered into that stage. Then also I could clearly see that when I am mindful, when I am aware of myself while doing a task, I'm more focused and I am able to complete the task quickly with perfection. So this is my conclusion with regarding to exercise 1. Bhaiya, next slide, Bhaiya. Here also in exercise 2, I'm able to differentiate these two entities as self and body as distinct entities that I could differentiate. But I'm not able to find the distance between the self and the body. I'm still struggling with the precondition that myself is inside the body. So it's a long journey or a process to go. But I would like to share these two incidences or experiments of myself with respect to exercise 2. I am suffering from wheezing for the past 20 years, and recent years, I'm able to clearly see when myself gets disturbed, when myself gets stressed, it is reflecting as a wheezing. It is reflecting as a state of breathlessness to me. Having done this exercise 2, now I am slowly programming myself to be strong. Myself is strong. So thereby, the frequency of the occurrence of wheezing has come down. That I could clearly see, but a long way to go. So that I could associate only when myself gets disturbed. Previously, I was thinking like allergy, dust and all, though they are also some of the factors, but the crux is myself. That I could clearly see. And the next example I would like to share is, over these years, I am not, there are some of days I was not able to get a sound sleep. At least once I need to use the washroom. But these days, I'm going to bed only to get up early the next morning. And here again, I could clearly see myself is instructing the body to wake up. This morning also, by 3:45, my alarm rang, and immediately myself woke up, and it brought a clear picture of myself that, Geeta, today is your presentation, you have to get up. So I could clearly see myself instructing the body to wake up, and immediately I jumped out from my bed. So this transaction between myself and body, clearly I could see. And also I could see the feeling of relationship and the feeling of opposition. With the feeling of relationship in myself, my body expression is so pleasant that I could see it. Otherwise, my expression is not pleasant. So that also I am able to clear very clearly and with a total clarity. Yes, Bhaiya, next slide, Bhaiya. And here for complementarity, I would like to add that when my students struggle with English, when they were unable to clear the English paper, because of not clearing the English paper, they were not in a position to get the degree. So they used to come to college after 2 years or after 3 years, after the course is over, because of not clearing English paper. That time I used to think, no, you are not studying properly English. So that was the precondition. I was thinking that students are not making effort to learn English. I was unable to understand their previous background of learning everything in Tamil and suddenly coming to college to learn and master English, that too to clear English paper is a difficult task. That particular thought has never occurred to me so far. But now, because of UHV, I have also started to learn Hindi. And here, when I struggle with Hindi, small minor things and trivial things, I could clearly associate myself, my state with my students' state of learning difficulty in English. So that complementarity is very vivid to me. And also, I was thinking inferior of my mother tongue Tamil, though it is a rich and profound classical language. Now I'm realizing it. Yes, my mother tongue Tamil is also a very rich, a beautiful language with a long history that I'm able to appreciate. And also I could clearly see that so far I was using English language as a mastery over others. I could see there was an ego, there was a pride in me when I was using English language. So all these differences now I could clearly see within myself. Previously, this realization was missing with myself. Yes, Bhaiya? Yes. UHC for me, I can say, it is the law of universe, it is the law of attraction, and everything falls in place naturally. Nothing has to be done. Only thing, we have to keep ourselves open, and dots will get connected. Though they are appearing scattered, I'm sure dots will get connected as it has happened to me. And I'm very clear that the kingdom of heaven or hell is only within us, not outside. Bhaiya, next slide, Bhaiya. Bhaiya, can we move to the next slide, Bhaiya? Yes. And I could clearly see, so far, whatever I have thought as happiness are only excitements. Be it buying a new dress or getting high marks or being appreciated, complimented by others. All those things I was thinking as happiness. No, they aren't happiness. They were excitements. And I could see happiness only on few occasions, few moments. When I do it, any act without expectation. So this gross realization, gross mistake I have done with excitement and happiness, I could clearly differentiate the line of difference between those two terms. And I could see that happiness is innate to me, natural acceptance, the feeling of relationship, coexistence, everything is innate to me. That and all I'm able to clearly see within myself. And this word, I am a creator of own destiny, I have used it multiple times, but this time I'm using with a total clarity, with the right understanding and right feeling. Yes, I am the creator of my own destiny. There is no karma, no fate, nothing like that. And now I'm able to see my preconditions over sun stars. So these are all a strong learning for me. And to conclude, I can say feelings are the ultimate one that decides my life. It is my feeling that decides my life, that I could clearly see. So everything is revolving around the crux called as feeling. So I am the seer, I am the enjoyer, and I am the doer. That's all because of my feelings, that I could see it very clearly. Yes, Bhaiya? Yes. Let me conclude by saying the words of Robert Frost, the woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep. and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. With this, let me conclude my presentation, placing my sincere gratitude pronounced to the entire team of UHV who are involved directly or indirectly in spreading the message of UHV to this entire universe. Folding my hands, I'm placing my heartfelt gratitude and thank you to all. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. That's it from my side.
Thank you, Geeta ji. You have shared very well and in very detail. If there is any question regarding the sharing of Geeta ji, kindly raise your hand. So we have Anita ji. Namaste, Anita ji. Would you like to share or ask something from Geeta ji? You have to unmute. Your mic is muted, Anita ji. Okay. We have Raj Bendra ji. Namaste, Raj Bendra ji. We also have Tashi Dorji ji from Bhutan. Namaste, Tashi ji.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Good morning, Ganesh ji. Good morning, Geeta ji. And good morning to all the co-explorers. Firstly, before I ask my questions to Geeta ma'am, I would like to thank Geeta ma'am for a rich experience. Needless to say, wonderful presentation, wonderful slides. Now, please pardon me if I'm not able to articulate myself. I'm not really used to this virtual thing. So my question for Geeta ma'am is, especially the second slide, it was really profound by Lao Tzu. So my question is, Geeta ma'am, do you think that there is right time for everything? And do you think that a person, a learner needs to be ready in order to learn? Now, in order to put some of my personal experiences, now I got introduced to this UHP in the year 2014 when I was in Sherabji College. Now, during that time, even the course was made available to me. I did not listen to it. I couldn't concentrate to the course, and I realized it only during the end. Like it was a 8-day course, and during the 8th day, I realized that there was something important about this course, and I, I started regretting after that experience, and I always wished for this course to meet with this course again. And now in the year 2021, just I think few months ago, I got introduced to this course again in Bhutan Institute of Wellbeing, and a different experience about that the time is that now this time I was able to focus, concentrate on this course, and after that, I was really interested. Now after attending the 8-day course, I was really interested to learn further. A dialogue within has begun, and I wanted to go further. I wanted to experience some more. I wanted to learn more. And also, a few weeks ago, I was again invited by Dasho Pema Tinle to Bhutan Institute of Wellbeing, again to be a resident tutor. And also, I was given the opportunity to teach one of the session. Now, I find this course really profound, and I really want this journey to go, because what I realized is that till now 17 years of schooling and education, it hasn't taught us much about our own mind. We were usually in pursuit of physical facilities, and as Geeta ma'am mentioned in your experience, even I've been reading books. I've been reading books. I've been listening to audio clips. I've been watching some inspirational documentaries or inspiring speech. But then the impact, as you said, it does not last like the one which is created by courses like UHP, because everything has been made broken down into simple things. It's really convincing. It's we're able to accept the truth. and even to share again, put some of my experiences before attending this UHV. No, I did not like meditation. It was really hard to even concentrate for 1 minute. After attending UHV course for a second time, what has changed in me is that interest has developed in me to pursue meditation. I'm able to meditate for 5 minutes. I've increased it to 10 minutes, and I think I really like this experience. The dialogue within has started, and I like this dialogue within me. So what I realized is that before that, in 2014, I think I wasn't ready to accept, to learn this everything that UHP course is teaching. And now I feel that this time, something has changed. I'm a ready person, and I think it is the right time for me. So Geetaji, do you think that there is a right time for everything, and do you think a person needs to be ready in order to learn? So that's my sharing or question.
Yes, thank you, G. I'm able to understand. G, what I would say is, we have to be ready to receive it. And I think time will be a factor when we took so much time to open up. But if a child is born, or if a child is receptive, then it may happen to it the very next moment. So for me, I think time is a factor based on our readiness to accept. So for me, I think time is secondary. The primary thing is our self must be receptible. When the
Yes,
self is
Geetaji.
ready, definitely the teacher will appear. So as you rightly pointed out, G, even for me, but for me, I don't think it is a time. It's my poor lacking, my lack of understanding that it has taken so much time. Only at the age of 50, I'm able to have this realization. So for me, I wasn't a regret that only at the age of 50, I'm able to get this. I wasn't regret. I am happy about it because my self is receptive now. So I'm not bothered about those 49 long years. Right now, I am happy. I'm not bothered about my time because I think this is the time myself has realized. Whether I'm able to answer your query, G?
Yes, Geetaji. Thank you so much. And I feel lucky that I am able to, realize it at a young age.
Yeah, you can be happy about it.
Thank you, Geetaji.
Thank you, G, for that question. It has made me to think in that time factor because previously I have never thought about the time factor, but this has given me a new dimension to ponder. Thank you, G. Thank you for that question.
Ji, thank you. Thank you, Doshi ji. We have DVSSR Prakash ji. Namaste, Prakash ji.
Namaste, sir, and namaste to all the participants and also co-explorers along with me. Very excellent presentation, Geeta madam. I have been listening to you almost for the last 6 months now. I think both of us are listening or attending this program from the same time, the 2nd of January, if I'm not wrong. Yes, very excellent presentation, slides, content, excellent. One question has come to me after listening to the last slide, Robert Frost. How much time it has taken for you to think that karma is not playing any role, it is me, not anybody else. For my happiness, I am responsible. Like Gautama Buddha, suddenly he got a change in mind. Sitting by the side of this tree, Bodh suddenly his mind has transformed. In that way, how much time it has taken for you to realize that my happiness is me, not anybody else, and I am responsible for my karma. There is no external karma. This is my question, madam.
Thank you, Prakash ji. Ji, I think you will also remember when I put the question to Ganesh ji and also Dasho ji, that why human beings should suffer, why realization should take so much time, when most of them are not heard of the term, when most of them are struggling for survival. So, by the answer given by Ganesh ji, at that moment only it cracked to me that even I was thinking that it is my fate to live with a spouse who is very incompatible in my thoughts. So at that very moment it cracked to me, ji, that my happiness is inside me. It is me who is keeping myself as a prisoner. It is me who is victimizing myself because of my thoughts. So only at that moment only, I can say exactly 4 days before only, I could see the crux of that message. And that moment I got total freedom, ji. A total feeling of relief, happiness surrounded me. And from that moment onwards, I could see that my life is so beautiful. My life is to celebrate. So that was the time, Prakash ji, I was able to get that enlightenment over that particular term, karma. Previously, I was thinking it is my fate, something I have done in my past. That is why I'm suffering this year, this birth with this person. Like that. That was my thought, honestly.
Good, madam. Good analysis. And similar lines, I have taken this COVID-19 situation and pandemic. Yes, whatever it is there, let me face. Because in my known circle, about 20 people have died. Friends, close friends, relatives, colleagues, known people. Then I became more stronger after listening to these lectures, morning 5:30 to 7:30. What may come, I will face it. All precautions I will take. Yes, then it has released that pressure, stress in my mind. Now I am free. Tomorrow something happens, I am ready. So that kind of acceptance has given me the happiness, internal peace. This moment I have to live. I should not think of Corona or my friends or somebody. This moment I should take up the situation in a positive way, and to the maximum possible extent, what should I do? I should do. And that has given me a change for me. And now I have relieved of that kind of pressure or stress now. There is no stress now. There is no fear of Corona. There is no fear of anything that happens beyond Corona. Every day I'm happy. Every moment I'm happy. Always I'm thinking of the self mentally that minute. Previously, I used to respond immediately if somebody says something in the college. Now, 1 second I will think, then I'm responding. This is the transformation which has happened in me for the last almost say 10 months when I started with the 5 days course, August. And then this analysis, 5:30 to 7:30, really great. And through known source, we should put other people also to this 5:30, 7:30 lectures. Very critical analysis by all the people. Every sentence is important. Every aspect has got the deep thinking for realization. That's what I want to submit to all my co-explorers. Thank you, Geeta ji. Thank you, the whole team.
Thank you, Bhaiya. Let me add one more thing. Previous lockdown, even I was suffering with the fear of death. What will happen if I die? What will happen to my jewels? All these thoughts were there. They were lying unused, my dresses, all these thoughts were there.
Yes.
But this lockdown, not even a moment I'm having the fear of death, Bhaiya.
Yes, that is a transformation. That is a transformation.
That is a true transformation for me. Thank you, Bhaiya.
Yes. Even I felt like that, madam. And I think the morning lectures have certainly given a different kind of thought for all of us. At the self level, maybe other things, body and all that you leave it, but self level, first of all, thinking me, my thought, what I am thinking, is it right direction or not? This has given a lot of change every day. And I'm able to linger with the same kind of thoughts and the lecture, whatever the sentences, what they spoke, till next day morning. So that is putting me happy. That is putting me in right direction. That is putting me to think positively. that is giving me an opportunity to do things right time, right direction. And that is bringing a change in my family life also. Right. Thank you very much, madam. Very good exploration, very good transformation. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ji.
Okay. Thank you, Prakash ji. Now I would like to request Ganesh sir to kindly add a few points or comments on the Geeta's ji sharing. Sir, your mic is muted. Ji.
Very nice. I'm very happy to hear the sharing of Geeta ji. He has very clearly brought out the whole process that she's going through, and also the outcomes, the visible outcomes that is there, very systematic, I would say, and this gives a lot of confidence to all the participants. Each one of us can go through this process, and the outcomes will be natural consequence of it. So, very inquisitive, childlike, we have been kind of pursuing this whole process for the last few months, and she is sincerely working on herself and very open, open to her own, kind of preconditionings, her own sanskar, and willing to learn from every word that is, being spoken, by the participants here. So it's quite assuring for all of us that yes, each one of us can go through this process and make sense of our life. So very nice, Geeta ji, and I'm happy that with all this, you must be preparing yourself for an active participation in the society as well. So, if we get things, comfortable within and in the family, then certainly we can make a very meaningful contribution in the society. So we would certainly look forward for your commitment towards so much possibilities that is there around through this USB in the mainstream education. So this is what I have to say regarding Geeta's presentation. Regarding this point that was brought in, this about this karma and about this Swatantrata, I think there are three issues basically. One is karma, and the other is sanskar, and the third one is Swatantrata. The karma, if we understand, essentially means our sanskar, our method sanskar. It is not in terms of what we do outside, but it is in terms of what we assume to be true. Our feelings, our thoughts. So what is accumulated as karma is not the external deeds. What is accumulated as karma is our sanskar, our assumptions, our preconditionings, and this assumption may be based on knowing or not based on knowing. And then our feelings, our thoughts, all this accumulated is what is karma. So this is one thing that we generally live by our sanskar. But then when it comes to this pure observer, right, when it comes to this pure self, inner self, we have been saying time and again that it is not influenced by this accumulated sanskar. So if we are able to move up to this pure observer, then we are beyond the sanskar and therefore beyond the cycle of karma. So this is very important, that when we are working with the lower activities of the self, we are within the cycle of the sanskar and therefore cycle of the karma. But if I move up to my natural acceptance, myself, my pure observer, then I go beyond the cycle of this sanskar and cycle of this karma. And this choice is available to all of us. And I can jump anytime, from these lower activities to the higher activities of this self. So this activity of realization, this being pure observer without reaction, right? And if I do that, I am out of this cycle. So this is possible for every one of us at any point of time. But to be able to take this decision to jump to that highest level of activity of the self, we really need to work with our sanskar. So because of these sanskars, we have been identifying ourselves with the body. In fact, we have been identifying ourselves with the world outside, the physical world outside, the other human being. Then we have been identifying ourselves with the body and so on. So if as long as that identification is there, as long as the sanskar of that identification is there, we don't even think in terms of making a jump to our inner self, to our pure observer. We are most of the time busy with the world outside. So if that is our sanskar, the chances of jumping into this pure observer is very less. So that is why there is a lot of talk about purification of this sanskar. Right. So if you remember, right in the beginning when we started this exercise, we said out of two objectives of this doing these exercises, one is the purification of our sanskar. So all kind of assumptions we have made without understanding, and therefore all kind of feelings and thoughts we have, and that has to be purified. Because unless we do that, we are not able to pay attention to ourselves, to the activities of the self, and finally to the highest activity of the self. So considering this whole world outside so important is our sanskar, is our karma. And as long as that karma is there, that sanskar is there, we don't pay attention to ourselves. So you have to work on your sanskar, you have to work on your karma, So initially it's a slow process, it seems to be continuous process. But when you do it, and particularly when you come to the realization